Another double dev diary video. This is for April and May. Let's start with April. For those not keeping track, we received a huge update in April with a ton of content. I'll show you something fun you can do with one of the new features at the end of the video. They also released new merch. It's a Crowny plushie and... oh, it's already sold out. Yeah, I was busy making the Renegade review, so there was no April dev diary video until now. Though I'm surprised it's a limited run. Having merch from the game's gift shop in real life adds to the immersion. The patch they were talking about was released months ago. The biggest headache for them right now is the animal teleporting bug. Whenever you load the game, some animals get teleported out of their enclosure. This bug was fixed a long time ago, but it's back. It's a minor annoyance now, but in the future, when animal attacks and escapes are implemented, that's going to cause problems. The fact that this bug has returned is a concern. Animal escapes and attacks won't be for a while, so hopefully they can nail down this bug. Update 15 is coming in July, and a public test branch is coming late June. So if you're watching now, it could arrive within the next week or so. Keep your eyes peeled for it. The first improvement is making animals look at each other when they interact. It'll add to the realism. They'll also be adding fleeing and threatening behavior to the game. This is the groundwork for combat that'll come eventually. The angry vocalization from the last update will combine with the new threatening behavior to make it more dynamic. Threatening will be used to scare away predators or challenge rivals for leadership of the herd. Next is Paleoflora. At the start of challenge mode, you only have access to Cenozoic plants. Good for mammals, but not dinosaurs. Paleoflora must be excavated as well. The game will have 35 species of extinct plants across 8 biomes. Once you've unlocked them, you can find them in the new expanded landscaping menu. I appreciate the bigger biome icons in the new menu. It's easier to see. Once Paleoflora is in, it'll have its own bar like forests, biomes, and water. There are no minimal or maximum values. Your animals will be happy regardless of how much or how little you add to the habitat. You do need over 50% Paleoflora to get an ecology bonus. They provide enrichment to herbivores and increase wellness. Paleoflora reduces the chance of animals getting diseases. I mentioned in a previous update, diseases are coming. I hope the game will have more depth in managing diseases. Curing diseases was too easy in Operation Genesis. In challenge mode, browsing on Paleoflora won't reduce an animal's hunger, but they'll be adding an option to sandbox mode so herbivores can provide for themselves without the need for feeders. This is a highly requested feature in the community. Sounds like people want to recreate their own Site B scenario. I've been so busy building that I have never tried doing a Site B with the current game. As for dietary requirements and new feeders, I didn't know the current animals with multiple diets only required one. I always stick every diet it likes into its habitat. Looks like my strategy won't be changing for update 15, because now, animals with multiple types of diets will require all of them to be happy. This will also make the less popular diets, such as insects and fish, just as important. I'm not sure I understand this menu showing feeder and diet requirements. I mean, each feeder is a diet. If you put a fish feeder in your habitat, then you have one fish diet. Not sure why an animal would need fewer feeders but more diets. This is just a guess. I think picky animals will enjoy a certain type of diet more, even if they eat multiple diets. Maybe a Spinosaurus likes fish more than meat, and you need multiple fish feeders to satisfy them. But then, why would there be more diets than feeders needed in this image? I'm probably overthinking as always since these pictures are just concept art and not finalized. I do like the idea of new feeders. The current food trays stick out like a sore thumb in the habitat, no matter what style I use. They'll be adding fake logs and fake carcass food trays. Hopefully, they'll blend more seamlessly into the habitat. Finally, more paleobotany. Here are 2 plants for the temperate biome. This last tree is a tropical plant. It's a cycad that looks like a palm tree. Now, moving on to May, the latest dev diary. The devs are hard at work on the things covered in the April diary, and of course, they have new things to show off. In addition to the threatening animation, they're also adding baby animation that they didn't include in Update 14. Here we have 2 cute baby animations. One is for the baby hadrosaur and the other is for the baby sauropod. The animation looks fantastic. Also, we finally get to see the Gallimimus model. The animation for this animal is inspired by modern big birds such as cassowaries, emus, and ostriches. The Gallimimus animation required special rigging for the feathers, just like the Velociraptor. Next, we get a showcase of new environments with paleoflora implemented. There are currently 180 variants of paleoflora between the 6 biomes. It'll have over 200 once they finish the last 2 biomes. So now, here's a showcase of the 4 biomes so you can see the plants in-game instead of being isolated. By the way, all the images you saw before also have paleoflora implemented, so these next few pictures aren't the only ones available. First up, we have the coastal biome. This is the scrubland. Next is the temperate biome. Lastly, we have tropical. Am I crazy, or is there a nursery revamp every few months? I feel like this is the least efficient part of the dev's work. I just got used to the nursery icon, and now it's getting changed again. The changes are huge though. They've improved the filters so you can sort your animals in even more ways. This video shows off all the different ways you can filter and sort the animals. You can watch the full video on the site, links in the description. Now comes the biggest overhaul to the nursery. You have simple things like choosing what animation you like to see in the nursery menu. The preview will be 100% accurate to what you'll end up with once it's created, including whatever mutations it'll have. You set the game to create randomized traits if you want. The biggest thing is the skin editing panel. You can now adjust the saturation and hue of the skin, or turn on mutations like albinism. I don't know, I kinda like not having any control over things like mutations. When you spawn an albino, it feels special because it's rare. Now that you have full control over it, the animal feels less special. I know some people will enjoy having control over these things, and you don't have to use it if you don't want to. They're also adding a size slider that'll allow you to make the animal a little bigger or smaller than the natural size range. Again, great for people who like complete control over things, but it feels less special when you get an oversized animal since you can make them yourself. Now that I've covered the dev diaries, it's time for something fun. You can now walk around and explore your park in first-person mode. You can interact with benches and staff doors. You can also jump by pressing the spacebar. I've been having fun exploring and climbing my park, looking for security flaws. I've been jumping onto things to try and break into my exhibits. I've been climbing modular rock pieces, jumping on signs, jumping across roofs, and looking for paths into my enclosures. Outside of the small default fences, all the pre-made fences that came with the game are foolproof. It's when you start adding rocks and things to spruce up your park that opens up security flaws. This is one of my older park designs. These guardrails I made are too high to jump, but this rock pile I added can be jumped on. I'm finding so many ways and paths into my exhibits, and it's a lot of fun. These security flaws only apply to you. The game's guests can't parkour into the exhibits. I highly recommend fellow park builders to try and climb into their enclosures as a challenge. Until next time, this is the Illiterate Scholar signing off.